Along your travels in the Elder Scrolls universe, you will find many deadly blades to cut your foes, and many weapons of divine origin, as well as not so kind deities. Today, we will be exploring 5 of the most deadly weapons in the Elder Scrolls universe. Starting with our first one today, we have Stendarr's hammer. It is a hammer made of ebony and sapphire, and is enchanted to drain the health of those it strikes, at the cost of the wielder's stamina. The hammer itself seems to have been of divine origin. It is rumored to have once been used by Stendarr, the god of justice. It is one of the first artifacts to ever be added to Tussaran's Aram's museum in Mournhold by the Nerevarine. The hammer is too heavy for most people to use. It is a two-handed, blunt hammer that weighs in around 1,000 pounds. Its estimated value is 130,000 drakes, or septums if you're in the Empire. The hammer itself only appears in Morrowind. However, it can be found in Skyrim through the Creation Club, if you're so inclined. Now let's leave our far home of Ardenfell and travel inward to the roads of Cyrodiil. Inside of an ancient Ayleid ruin sits one woman, Umbra. You may be wondering, what is so unique about this blade that someone would name themselves it? Umbra is a Daedric artifact. Its design was purely to take the souls of those it killed. It was created by an ancient witch, Nirina Ware, at the request of the Daedric lord Clavicus Vile. Clavicus wanted the sword to be used to send souls to his realm, causing mischief and all around a lot of chaos. But it seems that the sword was unstable, requiring Clavicus to give a lot of his power to the sword. And when he did that, it became a sentient being, which named itself Umbra. Now, in some retellings of the story, the ancient witch was Sheogorath in disguise to trick Clavicus Vile, but nonetheless, that sword is imbued with the power of a Daedric god. Umbra will slowly take control of its wielder, changing its mind, creating an identity, and wrapping the person. In Morrowind, however, there's an ancient orc who went by the name of Umbra, and he actually was a reference to the player at the end of the game when you have nothing left to do, no more battles left to fight. Umbra in Oblivion, however, is one of the most powerful weapons in the game, as well as in the lore, being able to essentially shift itself where it wants. It has control over people, and not only that, but seems to be able to not only appear and disappear within the pocket realm of Clavicus Vile, but it even seems to be hidden from Clavicus himself. It is, in a way, almost another deity. The next artifact on our list is one many of you may know well. One that I actually am quite fond of using in my own games. Probably one of my favorite daggers in all of existence. Well, at least in the Elder Scrolls. And that is Mehrune's Razor. Mehrune's Razor is also called the Dagger of the Final Wounds, or Bane of the Righteous. And, for those who may know its true purpose, the Kingslayer. The blade itself has a very powerful enchantment, one that at any moment, any strike, can immediately send a soul to Mehrune's Dagon. What this means in game is one cut, you have a chance to immediately kill whatever you're fighting. The blade has no way of checking resistances, and it's an instant death. The blade itself is quite mischievous as well, but in a very different way, in a more brutal way. The blade itself has been shattered into multiple pieces throughout time, multiple times actually. It's not really a big deal, however, because once it's brought back to Mehrune's Dagon, he can immediately reconstruct it. He just needs all of the pieces. So the blade can never truly fade in and out of existence. In reality, the pieces can only be hidden. Mehrune's Dagon will eventually find them and collect them and rebuild it once more. During the time of the Oblivion Crisis, the champion of Cyrodiil can come across this weapon, and its power is truly devastating. Not only that, but you also have to consider that this is not its first time being wielded. 6 characters in the lore. 6 characters in the lore have been known to use it. Gilran, Maurice Firul, however you say that, Troublefinder, Master Neloth, Master Marvis, Varner, Hellerus. As well as there have been people who have owned pieces of the blade, the hilt having a total of 9 wielders, while the blade shards and the pommel have another 9 wielders. The scabbard itself, however, has only been owned by Silas Verenius, and that is a little bit funny because during the game we actually have the scabbard, but we mean whenever the pieces have been broken up. For what we know, each piece has had 9 wielders, except the scabbard, which has had 1 holder, as well as 6 people who have used the blade. Stepping away from blades now, we find ourselves in the Arcane University. This is the place of magic. And what else would a wizard want aside from the Staff of Magnus? The Staff of Magnus is an ancient staff created by Magnus, the god of magic, and of the sun. When he left Mundus, he left one singular artifact behind of great importance, and that is the Eye of Magnus. The Staff of Magnus being the tool to uncover many lost secrets throughout time. The Staff of Magnus is what is called a metaphysical battery of sorts. By its creator, the god Magnus, it is imbued with an enchantment of absorb health and absorb magicka, and it lessens the effect of spells cast upon you. While it shields the user from magical effects, the staff itself will eventually leave on its own volition, especially when a wizard becomes too powerful. It seems to have an air of balance about it, understanding that its need is more than just for the willing and the righteous, but also to prop up others throughout history. During the time of Elder Scrolls Online, the staff was in possession of the Aldemari Dominion, having been stashed in Marbrook. However, the staff was eventually stolen and returned to Valenwood. Later years, it was in the Imperial Cinquilarium, and even located by the Eternal Champion. The hero of Daggerfall has come across it, as well as the Nerevarine and the Dragonborn. The artifact itself is phenomenally powerful, and we never truly get a full representation of it in the games, because to actually unlock the power of this would be to rip Sunder magic itself. It is a weapon of the god of magic. It is completely unique. Now, I must apologize before we go forward, but there actually are not 5 on this list. There are 6. Number 1 is Keening and Sunder. Keening and Sunder are the 2 weapons created by Lord Kagrenac. Together with Wraithguard, these tools are to essentially poke and prod at the heart of the world, the heart of Red Mountain. When these tools were once used by Lord Kagrenac, the entire race of the Dwemer disappeared instantly. But on the other hand, those who wielded it during Morrowind will know full well what the true power of these are. These are god-making tools. Keening, Wraithguard, and Sunder, even though we are not talking about Wraithguard the Gauntlet, it is a required part of the set. One cannot hold one without the other. So, to understand its true power, we need to understand that Lord Kagrenac was a high priest and a magecrafter of the ancient Dwemer. They had determined that in the heart of Red Mountain, this stone that sat was actually the heart of Lorkhan. And they decided to attempt to create a brass god out of its essence. To do this, they needed protection, but they also needed weapons capable enough of holding and sapping the essence from this heart to place it into the new god. Well, they never truly got that far, but the Dark Elves did use these weapons later on. These weapons have been seen in the hands of Amalexia, Sothasil, as well as Vivek and Nerevar. Later, you can find these in the Creation Club for Skyrim if you are scared of Morrowind a little bit. As well as, they come with some very strong enchantments. For starters, Sunder itself drains fatigue on you, fortifies your attack, fortifies your defense, luck, and strength. And it comes in at a whopping 40 pounds. This is a hammer that is Sunder. For the blade part, we need to look no farther than Keening. Keening has a constant effect of fortifying the health, the magicka, attack, agility, and speed of the wielder. It clocks in at a very light 9 pounds, and can be seen in the arms of Nerevar whenever he uses it to finally put a stop to Dagoth-Ur. These two weapons are not truly weapons. They are weapons to become God. They are tools to become a god, a living god, one with penultimate power. And that is why they are number one. Thank you all for watching. This has been SpyPie Gaming TV. I am Spy. If you like what we are doing here, make sure to leave a comment, favorite, and, subscribe to get all of our content. We have content coming out regularly on this channel for Elder Scrolls Online, as well as lore videos. If you wish to support the channel, we have a thank you button down below. If you would like to directly donate, and if you would like to maybe get some of our awesome merch, we have t-shirts available for SpyPie Gaming. Thank you all for watching once again. I will see you all in the next video. SpyPie signing out.